Good morning, everyone. Today is the first week in January, and it is 2021. So happy New Year to everyone. We are joined by our member, Michael, who is representing Incubate Coworking. Thank you for joining us, Michael.
Thank you, Sam. Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year.
So, Michael, I'd love for you to share about your, this baby of yours, Incubate Coworking, where you're located. You're pretty much how you came up with this.
Sure. So I'm super excited because Incubate Coworking is a shared office space. We started it in Winthrop, and we are coming to Lynn. We'll be opening up March 1st at 614 Washington Street on the second floor. So there'll be a new and better way for Lynn residents and Lynn businesses to be able to get some work done, meet, and collaborate. Within the sort of shared office space, there are conference and meeting rooms, as well as private offices and areas where people can come and work, given everything that's been going on with the pandemic. Many people are working from home, but they have smaller living spaces, or they still need to meet with clients, but their family is home if they've got young children or so that they don't feel like cleaning up after or whatever, and they still need to meet their clients out. So those are the kind of people who really can use a co-working location to go and get some work done and concentrate without any distraction to get their work done. I myself worked remotely for a large part of my career. And so I had worked out of some co-working locations all around the world. I was in international education before this. And, that's where the sort of idea of coming up with a co-working location, not necessarily in the sort of traditional sense of co-working, where most people think of startups, fancy coffee, and, a kegerator in a co-working space somewhere in Cambridge or the city of Boston or something like that. I really wanted to focus more on a localized version of that, a very community-based one. I think all of us might be feeling a little bit of isolation these days because of the pandemic, and whether or not people still feel comfortable coming out now or are planning for what their business will look like after the pandemic. We really miss that sense of community, and these spaces are really driven for collaborative business community work. So it's nice that we'll have a nice little network of them on the North Shore. So anyone who sort of covers that territory is able to bounce between the various different locations. And between Winthrop, Lynn, and Hamilton, we'll have some really nice locations and very different locations where people can go and get some work done and meet with clients.
You answered so many of my questions, but I think you just touched on what makes your business a different co-working space. So I thank you for answering that. Can you talk a little bit more about the Lin Space specifically, and what options there are for people in this specific community?
Sure. So the Lynn location, I've got a background in economic development as well, and I really enjoy the community building aspect of things. And Lynn, in particular, with all of the new residential development that's going on in the downtown, it really is in a unique place of a traditional community that's been there for quite some time, and a newer community that's on its way. And I wanted to create a space where those sort of ideas, thoughts, and people can blend in together. So the Lin Space, with Lin's industrial history,
Yeah.
the city of firsts, I wanted to find something that sort of had that vibe. And 614 Washington, for those people who aren't familiar with it, is one of the large brick flat iron buildings that's in Lynn.
Yeah.
So as you can see with my background here, I'm actually at the Winthrop location, but it also has that industrial feel, the nice brick walls, large windows from the second floor that overlook North Shore Community College, and a bunch of different views of some of the Beyond Walls artwork, which is really
Hmm.
cool.
Yeah.
And just a short walk away from a bunch of other really cool businesses and activities in the downtown area. As I had mentioned, that people work in different ways. So some people prefer to have a private office. So we've got 3 private offices within the space. Um, but other people will teach classes. That's why we have a larger conference room that can fit up to 20 people in it. And then some other meeting rooms that hold anywhere from like 5 to 10 people as well, where people can come and meet with clients or a group of people if they so choose. And then there's a bunch of common areas. They're kind of designed almost like a cafe style feel, looking out the windows, either in comfortable chairs or even couches with coffee tables here and there. We'll also have like a nice kitchenette in the space so people can bring their lunch and heat it up. But really, it's just going to be a nice aesthetic and a way for people to escape their home and get some work done. That's really the goal.
Yeah. Well, I think it's going to be great in downtown Lynn. I don't think we've had anything like that. And I think this will be a great opportunity for so many smaller individual, maybe people that are just starting up too. I know I didn't send you this question, but I'd love for you to talk a little bit about your entrepreneur program, if you feel comfortable talking about that.
Sure. So, one of the underlying goals of a co-working location is to foster that economic development and foster the entrepreneurs that come into the space. So, I mean, you may have someone who's a little bit more established. You may have someone who's just working from home, but you also have people who are not yet ready for a full brick and mortar store themselves, and they need a start. So they come in somewhere along that entrepreneurial journey. And my job is sort of to take them from point A to point B, find the help guide them to the resources. Maybe it's financial, business knowledge. What could it possibly be to get them to the next level? In that vein, one of our anchor partners is going to be E4All Lynn. For those of you who are not familiar, it's an entrepreneurial program that helps launch entrepreneurs, and it has a social justice bent. They believe in social change through entrepreneurship. And in that vein, we've partnered with them to create an entrepreneur in residence program. So shortly, we will be sort of rolling out an opportunity for Lynn residents to apply to be our entrepreneur in residence. We'll probably have somewhere between 5 and 10 awards that are sponsored by some of the local businesses in the area. And essentially, that's going to provide free space for people who are trying to get their business off the ground and would like to be part of the co-working space, but don't yet have the budget for it.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah, so keep an eye out for the application. We'll be putting it out on our social media as well as our website, probably towards the end of this month. So
Awesome.
you can find that information at incubatecoworking.com. And if there are anybody out there in the Lynn area, some of the businesses that are part of the chamber who would like to sponsor an entrepreneur, feel free to get in touch with me as well. You can reach me at michael@incubatecoworking.com is my email address.
That's awesome. My last question, Michael, could you talk a little bit about the options for people in having I guess it would be called a membership at at the co-working space.
Yeah, so it's a little different model than some people think of when they think about business and rent and things like that. So, what we try and do in a co-working space is use almost like it's a membership model similar to like a gym. When you come into a gym and you use whatever is available, first come, first serve, or use a room booking system to book some of the meeting areas or conference rooms in advance. the idea behind the co-working space is that it's as flexible as possible for people. So we have different types of memberships. We have a standard 3 memberships, which are 1 day a week. I call that sort of like the social membership, or those people who like want to be part of the business community, but often are on the road and may not come into the space, or they just want a change of pace every once in a while. Then there is a 2 to 3 day a week membership, which I call part-time. So the 1 day a week is $100 a month. The part-time is $200 a month, and that's 2 or 3 days a week. And then the monthly membership of unlimited, which is $350 a month. That includes coming to the space as many times as you'd like during the course of that month, but also access to the other locations. So if you think of it as like, if you tried to pay rent for 3 offices, you'd be paying upwards of like 3,000 plus,
Yeah.
plus all your utilities and managing and cleaning it and everything else. So you can have essentially that virtual office space where you could go to 3 different locations on any given day for $350. So it's a really easy entryway for people to get up and going when they have a business, or a very sort of low barrier of entry
Yeah.
for people to do it. And then we have the private offices as well. So if someone is interested in a private office, those typically go between $500 and $700 a month as well. So,
That's awesome.
and if someone has like a team of people that they're thinking about moving over, we can always work on something that's customized for them. There's
That's great.
lots of different options, and we try and tailor everything according to what people's needs actually are in the space.
That's awesome. And again, you're gonna have locations in Winthrop, Lynn, and Hamilton. So
Yeah, as of
yeah.
March 1st, there'll be 3. Like you said, Winthrop,
Yeah.
which is the first one, Lynn and Hamilton, and then hopefully in 2022 we'll see one as well in Salem or Marblehead, and then probably East Boston or Revere. So
That's
it's
great.
a nice conglomeration of
Yeah.
5 spaces across the North Shore that people can go into.
Awesome. Well, Michael, thank you for joining us this morning. We really appreciate it. We're very excited for you. And I wish you a happy new year.
Happy New Year. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to chat. And like I said, if anyone has any questions or anything, feel free to email me, michael@incubatecoworking.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Michael.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.